Hey everybody, thanks for joining SpringPath, the podcast. We have a great show lined up, lots to talk about, so let's get after it. Hey, and thanks for joining this episode of SpringPath, the podcast, where we're going to learn about a 4-year private school called Elizabethtown, and we have our special guest, Lily Nardozzi, joining us from there. Hi Lily, how's it going?
Hi Mike, it's good to see you. Everything's going well here in Elizabethtown. Thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen each other in a little while. I know we're probably going to catch up at the next college fair, so it'll be good to see you again. But while we've got you on the show, let's kind of dig into, the school itself, because you have some very unique attributes for being a, kind of a smaller private school. But before we get into that, can you tell me a little bit about how you got into this role? Because I know you had a background in communications and PR and kind of came back around. So
yeah,
go ahead.
Absolutely. So I graduated from a public school in 2019. So I was a mass communications PR major, like you mentioned. And after graduating, I kind of took a role in a nonprofit marketing company as their social media manager. Did that kind of all throughout COVID, and then decided to move closer to some family, and I decided to become a foster care caseworker. So kind of did take a career turn just a little bit, very challenging, emotionally draining role, very rewarding at times too, but kind of got back into admissions about a year and a half ago when I came to Elizabethtown. I had a lot of experience throughout college doing, as an admissions tour guide. So I was able to, kind of get a feel for the recruiting process. And now I'm kind of on the back end as a assistant director here. So it's been really nice just to meet with students, travel for recruitment, and just meet a bunch of different individuals all throughout, the state.
Yeah, no, and based on your background and what I know about you, just in meeting you, I mean, you're great with people. I'll say that as a kind of a blanket statement. So I think it's fitting, and you seem very happy in this role now. So let's talk a little bit about the town. I mean, the way that it has a very unique setting where the campus and the town are kind of tied together, but you have some really cool things going on there. So let's talk about, give us a little bit of background on the town. And I really love the concept of chocolate days. So I'll let you elaborate.
Absolutely. So smaller town right outside, we're in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. So we're really close to a lot of the downtown shops. There's some boutiques, restaurants, Rita's Water Ice, and we're really close to the Dove Chocolate Factory. So you mentioned chocolate days. So a lot of our students on campus actually know it's a chocolate day. You walk outside, you get the aroma of fresh chocolate. So that's something that's really cool and exciting for our visitors that come to campus. They can kind of get a feel for that if it's a chocolate day. So you'll be lucky if you're here to visit when it's a chocolate day. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I can't imagine any mood that you're in.
Chocolate always makes it better, right?
Chocolate just makes it better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't had the pleasure, but I would love to come tour the campus sometime. And for any listeners, I mean, obviously we always kind of direct people to take a tour, go visit the school, because it has such an impact on you. And I'm sure Lily will tell you when there's a chocolate day coming up. So you can time
I'll let you know.
All right, cool. So let's talk a little bit about, the town sounds great. You also have Amtrak nearby. So there are some cities that you can get to as well, right?
Yeah, so it's probably like a 10-15 minute walk from campus to the nearest Amtrak. So some of our students may live in like Baltimore, Philly. I think there is a line also like up to Connecticut as well. So it's really a nice option if students don't want to have a car on campus. You are allowed as a freshman in all 4 years, but sometimes, they might not have one or prefer to keep it on campus. So that's just a nice option to get them to and from, where they're living off of campus too.
Sure. Yeah, and I think it's not too far of a ride, but I think you mentioned, but you can get to Baltimore, you can get to Philly, you can catch a game, you can kind of immerse yourself in the city life as well, and then just come back home to your campus and relax, which is kind of the best of both worlds.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the campus itself. About how many students do you have enrolled there?
So right now we're a little around 1,900. So that does include some of our graduate students as well, but typically around 1,900 to 2,000 students.
Yeah, so you have a very good student to faculty ratio, so you're going to get a lot of attention. You're not just a number as in some big schools, which is a plus for many people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's kind of talk me through if I step on campus, what is kind of paint a picture for me? What am I looking at?
Yeah, so a lot of our students that come and visit, and current students as well, they love the greenery aspect. We have a lot of, natural plants, trees, things that just kind of make it feel more at home. And a lot of our buildings, they're very centralized. So we have what we call like our academic quad. So all of your classrooms are going to be around that. And then where you live, the dorm buildings, maybe an apartment style, it's just walking distance away. So you don't have to take, a shuttle, a bus. You can walk, you can ride your bike. And very modern buildings. They're always doing renovations, I feel like. So adding
Yeah.
the latest technology and different labs and facilities. So it's just a very beautiful campus, and the sun is always shining unless it's snowing in Pennsylvania. So it is quite nice, and we love having visitors to campus, and we do personalized tours so you can kind of get a feel for the inside of the buildings as well as dorms, meet with professors, meet with admissions. So we just love to bring students and their supporters to campus.
Yeah, no, and it's great because you and I have talked offline a few times about this, but let's just say I'm a first year student. I come, or I'm going to be, and I want to go take a tour and check things out. Now I'm thinking that next step. How do I get to meet people? How do I get to start connecting with like-minded people? Could be, you know, you have a number of organizations and clubs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have, I think currently it's around 80 clubs and organizations. They're always adding new ones. So it's actually really nice if you had a passion or a hobby, in high school or, when you were younger, you could actually bring that to campus and start a new club. So that's always a great way to just meet other individuals, like you said, like-minded. And there's always different events too. So, there's always something to do on campus, throughout the year, throughout summer, things like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I've said this on other interviews, but the reality is, the campus life is great. The buildings look nice, but you got to get
Mhm.
out of your dorm. You have to go meet people. You have to start
Yeah.
connecting and building out your network. And with that, I mean, you have, like I said, you have the best of both worlds with your setting, small town
Mhm.
setting, but also getting to the city is a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about, okay, I'm interested. I kind of I like I went for a tour. I love the Dove Chocolate Day was happening. It made me feel great.
Yeah.
um, and I love the campus. I fell in love with it. Talk to me about what I can expect as a first year student, because you do offer a lot of support for first year students coming in.
Yeah, so a lot of times our students they always talk about the support, like you mentioned, inside the classroom. So from the moment you step foot on campus, you're going to have what we call like our first year advisor. So let's say you come in undecided, you don't necessarily know what major you want to do. That's totally okay. So they're going to kind of walk you through what courses you have to take, what electives you might need, and they're going to be able to kind of support you throughout that first year because I know it can be a little bit intimidating. However,
Sure.
like you mentioned with the smaller class sizes and the smaller campus, you have access to their office hours, which means that they're available to sit down with you if you're having questions or concerns, or you have some positive feedback you want to provide. The faculty members are always there, and they're going to be teaching you throughout your time here at etown. So it is really nice that they can kind of walk you through every step of the process.
Sure. So it sounds like I show if I were to go show up for orientation, and then right there in my first year, I'm getting assigned to an advisor. There's someone
Mhm.
there that's going to help me
Yeah.
start making choices. Which is great. In a lot of cases, like that comes a little later, but you're getting that
Mhm.
right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about if I was to select a program. What is Elizabethtown known for? What are some of your programs that you'd want to share with listeners?
Absolutely. So we have a few really strong programs that a lot of times students kind of seek us out for. So one I always like to mention is our occupational therapy program. So we offer a 5-year master's, 6-year doctorate course, and actually your merit scholarship that you'd be awarded would kind of follow you through for all 6 years, which is kind of not very common. So it is nice that we
Sure.
can offer that for our students. Then we have our 5-year BS, MS, so that would guarantee students a bachelor's and a master's degree in our physician assistant program.
Okay.
And then also like our engineering faculty program is very strong. And then, math, sciences, business. We really have options
Yeah.
for all of our students that are interested in etown.
Yeah, and I will say I'm going to name drop a little bit here. I know about the engineering programs, and I know that you've mentioned names where you're tied in and you do projects, or students have the opportunity to go to companies like Tesla,
Mhm.
or some of the other ones like Google or Hershey, is not far
Yeah.
away. Yeah,
Yep.
so yeah, I'd be happy to share that because I think that's fantastic. It shows a path to get to you know big companies.
Absolutely. And etown alumni love to hire etown alumni. So it's a very
Yeah.
strong connection even on campus, but then you have that network built once you graduate too. So, they're always looking to help out another fellow Blue Jay, which is I think is really special.
Yeah, so can you elaborate on that a little bit? Because how does it work with career services? How does it work with like alumni um, for internships and job placement?
Absolutely. So we actually offer something that is pretty unique. So it's called Signature Learning Experiences. So that offers 5 different opportunities for students to get involved. So we have study abroad, we have community based learning, which is kind of working in the area. We have internships, we have research, and then we also have our capstone course project. So students are guaranteed 2 of those that I just listed. However, I've known many students to do all 5, all the way up to 10. So it's really a nice opportunity just to get out in the world. Like I said, your advisors are going to be really great connections for you, as well as your professors, teachers that may even bring in students that have graduated, kind of have them talk about their current career, and see what opportunities and network they have that they can provide for you as a current student.
Yeah, and with that, you have a kind of a high. I can never remember if this is employed. I think it's employed and or continued education. You have like a high percentage rating. It's in the high 90s, right?
Absolutely. I think currently it's around 97 to 98% of
Yeah,
students, either are employed or, like you said, continue with education within a year of graduation. So we want to make sure
yeah.
you're set up from the moment you graduate and move on to your future career.
Yeah, no, and that statistic is no joke. I mean, 'cause just because the
Mhm.
level of support that you provide the students, and also for parents that are watching or listening. I mean, it's having that level of a percentage means that your investment in your students' education is going to get them into job placement and get them out into the workforce where they can pay for their own food, they can pay for their own laundry. Okay, so we talked about the employment and continuing ed percentage, which is phenomenal. But before I kind of get into the workforce or take that next level of education, I a lot of people do want to know about the study abroad program because that's kind of a highlight. Can you share more information on that?
Sure. So that's actually something that a lot of our students do participate in. So we offer actually our own study abroad office on campus with a specific study abroad advisor. So they're going to be able to work with you, your program. So I know sometimes different majors only offer certain times you can travel abroad, and that's why we provide that advisor for you, so they can kind of make sure you're getting the experiences, internationally if you choose, but then also having those experiences, making sure you graduate on time while you're on campus too. So we work with quite a different different areas that you can travel to, and some of them are actually considered under etown tuition cost, which is great. So you really only have to pay
Yeah.
for travel, for food expenses, but that's all listed on our website. So if students wanted to kind of check out what different programs we offer, that'd be a great resource. And I also want to touch on that it's very accessible to study abroad here. So we want to make sure students do get that experience if they choose to do so.
Yeah, in many cases, when I've talked to other schools, the students have to do a lot of digging, and there's a lot of heavy lifting on their shoulders. But now it sounds like I have my original advisor for my academics, and now I've got my study abroad advisor. So
Yeah.
you're stacking the deck in their favor. Yeah,
Yeah, we help you out throughout the whole process, which is great. And I also like to point out we do offer trips from 2 weeks all the way up to semester long. So if you wanted to just simply
yeah.
go somewhere, maybe over spring break or over summer, there's a lot of different options and ways that you can kind of create it to fit your schedule.
Yeah, and I highly recommend it. I mean, the reality is, I actually didn't do it when I was in college, but a lot of my friends did, and just
Yeah.
the network that you build now is more of a
Mhm.
global network, and you get to experience different cultures, and so that was one of the things I missed out on that I would recommend if I did it again.
Yeah, same here. I regret not doing it when I could.
Yeah. All right, great. So let's say I love what you shared about the town. I love what you said about the campus. all the support that's built in for me to be successful and graduate and study abroad, which would be great. Now I want to get started. Where do I start to go look up information or to do a campus tour? Do I talk to you or do I check out the website? Where should I begin?
Yeah, so I would recommend going to our website, etown.edu. So that has a bunch of opportunities for you to kind of explore what we offer. We do virtual tours, kind of like a 3D campus tour. So if you live far away, can't make it to campus right away, we offer that for students, as well as all of our counselors, admissions team information is there too. So it does break it down by county, by state, territory, we call it. So if you live in Connecticut, I'm your representative. However, things do kind of change. So we'd love to connect with you as much as we can. And we do offer different events throughout the summer, the fall, open house events, just so you can kind of get a real feel for campus, meet with students, faculty, get a taste for the food on campus, maybe get a chocolate day if you're lucky. So
Yeah. Well, I would think you would want to post that schedule right next to
yeah.
the tour schedule.
Yeah.
All right, so that's great. So what we'll do is you'll see the web address, but Lily, if you're open to it, we're going to drop your email in there as well in the description so that people can reach out to you. But yeah, for everyone that's interested, please reach out to Lily, check out the website. And as always, you can also go to springpath.net to see if Elizabethtown is a match for you. Lily, thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mike. See ya.
All right, bye.